Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Drive with John program. We're coming to you live. We're a half hour late today. Sorry about that. We're live on radio and on YouTube TV, or YouTube streaming. And hopefully, if you didn't catch it, you can watch us later on YouTube on the ActonTV channels. We have a great lineup of guests this morning to tell you about some things happening in town. And as always, I just want to start with a few opening remarks. It's been very busy here in Acton. We're still dealing with this pandemic. Our library recently announced that they're going to be providing an opportunity for people to get inside the building, which is people have been really asking about that. When can we come to the library? When can we come to the library? There's going to be a process where you can go and do some quick browsing and in half-hour time blocks, but you have to make an appointment. So go to the Acton Memorial website to find out more information. You can also find it on the town website on the main page. Other things going on in town with the Board of Selectmen meeting on Monday night. Early voting starts tomorrow, this weekend. So it starts Saturday, tomorrow the 17th. And on the weekends, it's available from 9 to 1. And then on the weekdays, it'll be available from 8:30 to 5. And then the following weekend it'll be 9 to 1 again, and then 8:30 to 5 again. So early voting is available. Come to town hall to do your voting. Wait outside, and we'll let you know when you can come in and vote. The reason that I was late today is I was just over at the Sports Pavilion at Narra Park, which is a great facility. Beautiful Narra Park has the Miracle Field, which is a field used by families and people with certain disabilities who play baseball and other sports on this beautiful, it looks like Fenway Park, and it's got this nice textured surface that's easy to walk on. But we didn't really have a good bathroom facility, but through the work of many people, Tom Tidman and many others, and some support from the state and the Community Preservation Committee, we are just opening, we had the ribbon cutting today for the bathroom facility. And one of the things that happened at the ribbon cutting was our state senator, Jamie Eldridge, and our Representative Gouveia and Dan Cena delivered this big check. So in addition to getting support from the Community Preservation Committee, from donors, from volunteers, we also got $150,000 from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to help with the project. So thank you to our state delegation for helping us out. And next time you're in Narra Park, check out the building. It's beautiful. And next year, it's going to be a full pavilion for people to enjoy. So other things happening, we're going to have some breaking news from Heather shortly about some upcoming clinics that people have been asking about. So I'm looking forward to hearing that news. So why don't we get started? Heather, what's going on with public health?
Morning, John. Morning, everyone. So on public health side, we're currently at 217 positive cases in the town of Acton since March. There are 4 cases currently on isolation. So just keep in mind that the virus is still increasing. We've had 10 positive cases over the last 2 weeks. And as the fall continues, that number is predicted to rise. So just keep thinking about wearing your face covering, social distancing, and avoiding large crowds, and washing your hands, doing all those things that we do to keep safe in the fall and the winter. So John said I had some news, which I do. We finally received the balance of our flu vaccine. So we have 2 clinics scheduled as of now that are up on our website, www.actonnursingservices.com. And it can also be accessed by the Acton town website if you click on the Acton Nursing Services. On that website, it will bring you to a widget that has a Book Now button. So this is 2 clinics for senior flu high dose vaccine for 60 and above. The clinics are being held Monday, October 19th and Friday, October 23rd from 1 to 4. And then we're in the process of buttoning up our big drive-through clinic that we are going to be doing at the DPW department in the very beginning of November. So stay tuned for that date. Right now we tentatively have a date for November 7th, and that will be for 9 and above. for all Acton residents. So that's good news. It's important that we all get our flu shot this year, just because we are hoping to keep the pressure off the hospitals and doctors' offices where COVID is continuing. We don't want to have, both COVID and flu in the hospitals at the same time. It will tax our healthcare system. So keep that in mind. Just wanted to mention the upcoming Halloween. The Board of Health did put up some guidance on the Acton webpage for things for suggestions to keep people safe. Some of those are face covering, social distancing, of course. If you're passing out treats, please make sure you wash your hands for 20 seconds and then repeat washing as necessary. It's not recommended to leave a bowl outside. We don't want people putting their hands into a bowl repeatedly. And some of the other thoughts are to use some tongs to hand out candy as opposed to using your hands. But also, if you are not interested in handing out candy, if that's not something that you're going to do, please keep your lights off. And we just ask that people respect, obviously if people do not want to participate in the Halloween on the 31st of October. The other thing I just wanted to mention quickly, now that we're getting into the fall, people are starting to make plans for traveling for the holidays. So the Massachusetts travel guidance right now is still continuing for anyone coming from a high-risk state. They need to have a negative test within 72 hours of returning back to Massachusetts. And they have to be able to, upon request, show proof of that. The lower risk states right now are only Connecticut, the District of Columbia, Maine, New Hampshire, New York, and Vermont. So the amount of states that have gone back into the red in the last 2 weeks is everything except what borders around Massachusetts right now and the District of Columbia. So if you're going to one of those high-risk states, just be aware you should be getting a test 72 hours prior to coming back, or if you come back without having a test, you should quarantine until you have a test with a negative result. So as you're thinking about traveling for the holidays, just be aware, obviously, around the country, the numbers are much higher than they are right now in Massachusetts, and that's definitely a concern if you are an at-risk senior or someone with an underlying health condition. And right now, it's just everyone, basically. So just be smart when you're making your travel plans. So everyone stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heather. And we will publish the dates and times for the flu clinics that you just mentioned. We'll publish those online later today as well. So thanks for that breaking news. Before I move to Sharon, our Council on Aging Director, I also wanted to mention that I talked about the ribbon cutting this morning. We also have another exciting event on Monday. We're even though we're through a difficult time, we continue to celebrate our success. And a big success was the approval of the North Acton Fire Station project within the last year or so. And we're actually having the groundbreaking for that building on Monday. If you've driven by Harris Street, you've noticed the site is very active. And we're going to have a small groundbreaking ceremony on Monday morning. Due to the restrictions, we're not inviting the public to this event, but we are going to be live streaming it on our Facebook page. So if you want to watch it, please tune in to Facebook Live. I think ActonTV will also be there as well, and it can be recorded and shown later. But if you want to watch it as it happens, 10 a.m. Monday morning. Thank you. So Sharon, what's going on at the Senior Center?
Thanks, John. So this week we have a couple of different programs going on aside from our regularly scheduled activities that are shown on ActonTV. On Tuesday, we're doing a drive-through lunch. So between 12 and 12:30, people needed to sign up ahead of time, drive through, and we'll safely put, I think we're having chicken parm on Tuesday. And then you can head back home and eat your lunch. And at 2 o'clock, we have a program on the history of plagues, pestilence, and pandemics, which is very timely. On Thursday morning at 11 o'clock, we have a program on home organization. I don't know, it seems like since we've all been spending a bit more time at home, cleaning's been something that I know the seniors have been doing, a lot of decluttering and that sort of thing. So now let's figure out how to organize the stuff that you have left. Just a reminder too, we have Siddharth Krishna, who was a guest last week. He's working on his Eagle Scout project. He's doing fire safety and working with myself and Brent Carter. So if you'd like to receive a call from a Boy Scout from Troop 32, they'll talk to you about some fire safety tips, talk to you about the detectors you have in place, and then forward your name along if they feel you need some more service from the fire department. So if you're interested in having a call from one of the Boy Scouts, please call me at the Senior Center. Also a reminder, we continue to have grab and go lunches. So Minuteman Senior Services throughout this entire pandemic has continued to do Meals on Wheels. We used to have congregate lunches at the Senior Center as well. That was quite popular, but those have turned to grab and go. So just a reminder that those continue. It's $2 for a full lunch, milk, bread, an entree and dessert. You just need to call ahead of time. 24 hours ahead of time would be helpful at 781-221-7085 and pick up your lunch between 11:30 and 12:30. And then another service that has continued through the entire time is our van service. So Austin Saganowitz is overseeing the transportation, has been doing a fabulous job, and the van continues to bring people to doctor's appointments, grocery shopping, that sort of thing. So if you need a ride to whatever, the number for the dispatch is 978-844-6809. And I think just kind of going on with Heather and John, I think the importance to continue to be vigilant. The holidays are coming, the colder weather is coming, so try to make a plan for yourself now, knowing that you're not going to be able to get out as much. So how are you going to be spending your free time? So start thinking about that now. Library will be open, get some books, maybe learn a new skill, reach out to people, really important because they're feeling just as lonely as you are. So thank you, John. I think that's it for me for the week.
Thank you, Sharon. We, as always, we're welcoming any questions or comments from viewers or listeners at home. I am getting emails and calls asking Sharon to bring back the poem that she used to read every week. So we'll have to work on that.
All right, we'll do next week.
I'm getting a lot of calls about that, so I will have to look into that. So our next guest, Marc Duci, helps run ActonTV. ActonTV is a big part of what we've been doing, is a big part of our government operation anyways, because we have a ton of meetings that we broadcast every week, and ActonTV is who broadcasts it for us. But in particular, since the pandemic started and we've gone completely virtual, ActonTV has been instrumental in making sure that all the things that we're doing, we're able to communicate and share with the public. So I'm not sure what we would have done the last 7 or 8 months without Marc and his team. So I really appreciate all of their help, from everything to programs like this that he helps every week on, to Board of Selectmen meetings, to public hearings. They're helping us on a daily basis. So Marc, thank you for all your help over the last year. And why don't you tell us a little bit about ActonTV and what's going on over there generally for people who may not know as much about it.
Sure. Thanks for having me on the program, John. Appreciate it. So yeah, it's certainly been an interesting time for everybody. We had a 3-month span where we were closed down to the public, but we were still here. We were still working. The staff was producing content and helping out the town with meetings and other vital information that's been going on. So we've been working throughout to keep everybody informed and educated. So a lot of people ask me, like, what is ActonTV exactly? And so ActonTV actually was formed about 10 years ago. The Comcast originally was the ones who took care of the local television channels, and about 10 years ago they decided they were no longer going to be doing that. So the town had a choice to make, and it was whether or not they wanted to continue with a PEG access center, or if they wanted to absorb that center and make it a town department. Or the third option, which is what we are, is to have ActonTV formed as a nonprofit organization. And so we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We work with everybody from residents to the town to the schools to businesses, nonprofits. We are essentially a hub of information for all kinds of departments and individuals throughout town. And our mission statement is actually creating community through media by providing the technology, facilities, and expertise to encourage free speech and inspire creative expression. So essentially what that means is we're here for you to create media, to tell your stories. If you have any interest in creating videos, whether it's in studio or in the field, we can help you with that. We have a 4,800 square foot facility, a beautiful studio with 3 different sets, a traditional stage set, we have a big green screen virtual set, and we have something that a lot of other access centers don't have. We have a kitchen cooking set. And we host quite a few cooking shows. We have about 6 or 7 that we host on a regular basis, which is great. And it's also great being on the crew because you get to eat the food afterwards, which is fantastic. But we do a lot, as John mentioned. We cover the Board of Selectmen meetings, the school committee meetings, finance committee meetings, Board of Health meetings. So we have a couple of different studios around town. We have one that's in Town Hall. If you've ever been to Town Hall, we're in the back corner there. And we last year just built a new room inside the admin building of the school. So we have a really nice setup in the admin building where we do our meetings there every 2 weeks for the school committee. So we've got a lot going on. We've got about 200 or so members, and they're creating fantastic content. A lot of it lately has been via Zoom, which for obvious reasons. But we are open now. We have had to adjust our hours a little bit. Our hours are now Mondays through Thursdays to the public, and Fridays we use as a production day for our staff to take care of a lot of like editing tasks and things like that. But we are open to the public. Unfortunately, it's no longer a walk-in type of facility. You do need to make an appointment either by giving us a call or shooting us an email. But we love to give tours and show off our space. We have a state-of-the-art space, and we want more people to use it. Feel that a lot of people still don't know where we are and what we are. But if anybody is interested, please feel free to give us a shout. You can find us on actontv.org, and all our contact information is up there. One thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is I get a lot of questions from people about us and how we're funded. It seems that a lot of people think that their tax dollars are what goes to fund ActonTV, and that's actually not the case. We are actually funded through what was originally called the Telecommunications Act of 1984. And what that did essentially was, when cable was first coming to cities and towns throughout the country, they needed to use the right-of-way in each town, the telephone lines, in order to deliver their signal. So the towns and cities, understanding that in order for residents to get cable, that these cable operators would need to do that, wanted something in return to emphasize local information. So in other words, if you're going to come into our town and, you know, make money off of our residents, we want to be able to send our residents information and inform them on what's happening locally. So the government created this Telecommunications Act of 1984, and essentially what that did was allow each town and city to obtain up to 5% of the gross revenue of the cable providers. So the town of Acton has been a very big proponent of public access and has worked with the local cable providers, Comcast and Verizon, to get a maximum of 5% of the gross revenue. And then the town, because of, you know, their strong support of public access, then gives that money to ActonTV. So the biggest chunk of the money that we bring in is through that franchise agreement that we have. We also bring in money through donations, through local sponsorships, and through membership dues. Now, to use ActonTV, we ask that people become a member. And essentially what that is you're paying $35 and it's for the entire year. And that just helps us continue to do what we're doing. Every little bit helps. And so with that $35 as a resident, you get access to our 4,800 square foot facility, which you're allowed to use. We also have a number of camera equipment, lighting equipment, audio equipment that you can reserve and take with you to do shoots at home, you know, on the road, wherever you'd like. So a member has that ability. So we have that. We also have the production expertise of the staff here to help you. So a lot of people don't necessarily know how to properly use cameras or editing or things like that. So we can teach you how to do that. We offer classes in Photoshop, in editing, in studio production, and field production. So we do teach classes on that stuff. And we just want to make it as easy as possible for local residents, businesses, nonprofits to be able to get the word out that they're trying to say. And we have the luxury of having this beautiful space and all this great equipment for the residents to be able to do that. And, you know, I'm really proud to be in a town that has such a great facility and really supports local access, because I really think it's important. You know, most people get to hear the news, on 4, 5, 7, Fox, CNN, about what's happening around the country and around the state. But hyper-local information is very hard to come by, and it's very important to local residents. So that's essentially a little background on ActonTV, who we are, and how we're funded.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, you're certainly providing a lot of content at the local level, and we really appreciate all that you've been doing. So thank you. Our final guest speaker today is Selby. Selby's our Land Use and Economic Development Director. He's coming to us live from the Town Hall parking lot, and he's going to talk to us more about what's happening with economic development. Selby, what's happening?
Hi, thanks, John. The reason that I decided to ask to appear in your very popular Job with John segment today was to inform the public that we are moving forward with our second annual Acton Restaurant Week. Our inaugural Restaurant Week last year was a huge success. A lot of Acton residents enjoyed exploring new restaurants that they hadn't visited before, and Restaurant Week gave them the perfect opportunity and excuse to pig out that week. So this year's event will take place October 25th through the 31st. At the moment, the participating restaurants include Rapscallion and Philo's on Great Road, Le Liane, which is also on Great Road, and El Weeple, the Mexican place, also on Great Road. We do expect 1 or 2 more restaurants to sign up before the event kicks off on October 20th.
The information.
Links to the participating restaurants.
Hold on, we have a little technical glitch here. Are we back? Try
Yeah,
again.
I'm here. Yeah,
All right, go ahead.
I just got bells, you know, at the, is that this, I don't know if that's the church or the library that's dinging right now.
That's our town hall bell. That means it's 11 o'clock. But
all right.
so remind us again the dates of Restaurant Week and also the website.
Yeah, Acton Restaurant Week will take place this year, October 25th through 31st. And you can get the latest information at www.actonrestaurantweek.com.
Thank you, Selby. And thank you, all of our guests. Thank you behind the scenes to Brian Cody and Austin Scanowis. And thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Job with John. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we will see you next week.